Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at Bitcoin and we'll focus on the Bitcoin chart, but we're going to talk mainly about how we're going to, what sort of thing we're going to predict on this on the long term, and how we're going to make the most of this downtrend, reaccumulation, and get ready for the next uptrend to begin, which will happen. It's going to happen. There's probably a whole range of YouTubers out there with their mouths wide open on their thumbnails with the letters OMG, dump, get out now, the top, blah blah blah. Look, it's fine to be cautious, absolutely 100%. But look, at the end of the day, we've got to put this into context. Let's think about what's actually happened from the top to the bottom wick there. 35%. Now, if you've been around in cryptocurrency long enough, even if you're trading altcoins, we see stuff like that all the time. This is Bitcoin, right? We don't often see sort of, I suppose, large dumps like that, or we haven't recently. Again, a lot of people will be new to cryptocurrency, even if you've just been in it for the last year. You might not have seen some of the dumps that Bitcoin can do, and Bitcoin can do dumps. Trust me, it can, and it's okay for that to happen. It's part of the way that cryptocurrency works. So let's just slow down, chill out, and recognize what's going on here. This isn't, in my opinion, the absolute top of this market cycle. There is going to be a new high formed. Might take a few months. Might even take 3 or 4 months perhaps, but during that time my strategy is going to be to accumulate more Bitcoin in the easiest way possible, through bot trading generally. This is a perfect opportunity, absolutely perfect. And as what we were saying yesterday, we've got so many of these altcoins which are popping up left, right and center. They're still strong. Their Bitcoin pairing charts are strong versus Bitcoin. There is opportunity here to accumulate more Bitcoin, whether that's in simple spot trades or to set up bot trading. And again, this is something that obviously I've got a fair bit of experience with. But we will be talking about this on the live stream tonight, and I think we're going to focus on this for a little while, because this is how I'm seeing Bitcoin play out. This is the Bitcoin weekly chart. Okay, so we've dumped with 35% down. We've got several levels of support beneath us. Doesn't mean that we can't even pump up from here. We could, but I'd rather we didn't. It would not be healthy enough for us to do that. I'd rather see a bit more of a slower correction take place, something along the lines of this. And again, we are talking about a weekly chart here. Overall, if we think about something like this taking place, this is very much in keeping with the rest of the market cycle. 2022, generally, we could still be bullish into 2022, but I'll be looking for a new all-time high, by the fourth quarter, definitely. So we're talking about, October, thereabouts. It's very difficult to put a specific time frame on it. The idea, though, isn't about actually nailing down a specific time frame. It's an expectation that it will happen, and if that is going to happen, the best way to plan for it is to plan ahead. And how are we going to earn more Bitcoin? How are we going to accumulate more Bitcoin? And like I say, there's a variety of ways to do that. And one of the better ways, I suppose, and stress-free ways, is to use bots. So, if this is my expectation of Bitcoin roughly, let's have a look at the lower term timeframes and see what's going on here, and then we can focus on some altcoin pairings, which is what we'll be doing tonight. There is so much going on. Like I was saying yesterday, we nailed down a few, and we just briefly, XRP, a coin that people like to disregard. It's cool to bully XRP, but at the end of the day, I think it's going to come back to bite those people that bully this coin, because there's more to it than meets the eye, and there's many coins that are actually showing very good strength against Bitcoin, even in this downtrend, in the face of Bitcoin. Like, this is a Bitcoin pairing. You can see that it's actually in an uptrend still, despite Bitcoin going down in value. Unbelievable opportunities out there. So at the moment what we're doing is we're bouncing from that 200 EMA. That's fine, that's what's to be expected, and I said that this is most likely to be an intermediate area. Now this isn't a tangible level of support, it's just a bit of a pit stop if anything, and we found our bounce here yesterday, and we actually revisited that twice, so we can't see it so much here on the daily, but on the 4 hourly we can see that we revisited that low again. So we dropped down to it and then dropped down a little bit to 42,000 exactly, and that's where we're bouncing from now. Now if we look at this on the 4 hourly chart, it does give a bit more of an idea of the trend. The trend is strengthening in its bearish trajectory. So we've got the death cross, divergence, actually spreading out quite deeply now, suggesting that this downtrend is getting stronger. And even though we're going to get these bounces like what we have now that have been dictated by the daily time frame, this is so goddamn annoying. From the daily time frame, the 4 hourly is most likely going to find us the rejection point, probably get rejected more or less the same as in the same kind of areas as yesterday, around about 46,000. I would imagine our rejection take place, and then go down for a deeper delve down, and maybe even a bounce again from the 42,000. Again, a lot of people are going to want to play that. It's a very obvious play to make. Inevitably though, I would expect it to break down, and then we would talk about revisiting some of these areas which make more sense to view on the weekly time frames. So you can see that when we have supports and resistances on weeklies, they are very clear cut actually. So we've got candle body, wick, and basically a launch pad here, and that is coming in around about between 38 and 39,000. That's where I'd expect a much bigger bounce to take place from. That's probably where I'd expect to see the biggest one so far in this downtrend. Again, it would be a bounce. It would be unlikely that it's ready to reverse at that point, but it could reverse at that point, given the way that the moving averages are diverging. The trend is strengthening, and I would be a little suspicious to see it. I suppose at that stage. We've crashed here. I'd be a little suspicious to see it maybe reverse at that point now. So, I mean, I suppose we don't need to see any more. That is the overall picture. That is kind of my expectation of how this is going to play out. Short term, we're going to be going down, sideways and down, revisiting lows as potentially as low as 28,000, 29,000 over the next few months. But altcoins clearly been able to have a decent run. We can see the Bitcoin dominance chart is still, I mean, this is a sell-off. This is beyond all expectations. I mean, we knew that Bitcoin was going to lose some of its market cap, and that altcoins were going to have a run. But I mean, this has been pretty fantastic. But what I would say though is that the deeper we go on this chart, when it comes for Bitcoin to reverse, Bitcoin is probably going to wreck this chart and completely reverse this extremely strong and aggressive. And so, the idea, like I say, to play the long game. The long game is that this chart cannot go to zero. It will not go to zero. And that we can use this as an indicator in itself to suggest that, okay, the alts are still strong, not all, but some, at least against Bitcoin, and we can use that knowledge to benefit us. And playing the long game is going to be the best way to do it. Not chasing your daily gains, looking at your portfolio balance in the form of pounds, dollars, or euros. But to think about it in terms of Bitcoin, because I'm telling you now, the long game is the way to play this. This downtrend is not a bad thing, it's a good thing, and especially the way that it's playing out with altcoins at the moment. I would expect that we still have the opportunity for altcoins to gain against Bitcoin. And the way that this is going, we do have our final levels of support down here around about 36, maybe we could go to the bottom low wick 35, and maybe we would go even a little lower than that. But it is at that point that we might start to think about it's almost inevitable that this is going to turn around, and Bitcoin is going to be the biggest gainer, not across the board, but generally speaking, and the reversal could quite easily take place when this bottoms out. We're getting closer and closer and closer to areas that have basically been uncharted with Bitcoin dominance, and I'm a big altcoin fan. Like, I love altcoins, trust me. Altcoins are my favourite. Bitcoin is just, you know, it's a means to an end, really, for me. I'm not a massive fan of Bitcoin in general. Altcoins are what do it for me. But you know, I'll tell you what does it the most. Winning trades is what does it the best. So whether it doesn't matter what I'm trading, so long as there's a strategy in play and it's been thought about and planned, and the long-term picture here is to utilize altcoins and to utilize Bitcoin to try and make the most out of the entire market. And at the moment, it does appear that there's a definite situation occurring where we can do that by gathering Bitcoin while no one wants it, using altcoins to do that, but also being perfectly hedged, using trading bots to do that. Anyway, we'll go into it with more detail tonight. We'll look at a variety. We'll spend for a couple of hours looking at Bitcoin pairings, and we will think about this in terms of what it would be to be a good bot pairing, and how we can crush this market and earn as much Bitcoin as possible, even if Bitcoin is going to be worth less tomorrow than it is today. Remember, by the end of the year, it should be worth more than it's ever been, and that is the key. That is the key to success. Planning ahead, you know, buying the blood, sustaining a downtrend while accumulating more Bitcoin for the overall big picture, which is that you will end up with a Bitcoin worth more at the end of the year than it is today. Playing the long game is the smart way to do it. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice day, and take it easy.